and that's Mike Rivard. His bass part on this, I swear, it's like really the foundation of what started this vibe going. Like,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
not if he could have just been like bum ba bum ba
Yeah.
bum 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 bum, but no, it had this,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that became the waves of this song, and it just was really perfect.
Welcome to the Back Catalog Listening Party, your weekly musical happy hour where musicians pick an album from their back catalog and tell the stories behind their favorite tracks in front of a live online audience.
This week, we talk with folk rock favorite Catie Curtis, who joins us for lunch to celebrate the 20th anniversary of her album Long Night Moon. We talk about why this album has been so important in her life, how drums have shaped her music, and ways she keeps these songs fresh and politically relevant decades later. So pour a beverage, grab a sandwich, and kick back as we listen to music together here on the Back Catalog Listening Party, where it's always Friday and old albums never sounded better. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Welcome to the Back Catalog Listening Party. My name is Mother Banjo, one of your hosts.
My name is Anthony Ihrig, the other host.
And today we have joining us all the way from Newburyport, Massachusetts, Catie Curtis.
Hello.
We're fired up today.
Yeah, and Ryan was first to the party, joining us from Fort Worth, land of the Bumblebee Fighters, and I can't make out what that last bit is, but he is ready to party with us today, and we are so excited to have you here, Ryan, for this special lunchtime taping, and looks like our friend Joe is joining us from sultry Minneapolis. It is steamy right here in Minneapolis. I would agree with that. And Tony, are you doing anything? And Connie joining us from Richfield. Tony, are you doing anything to cool off on this hot day?
I am. I've got an ice cold cherry flavored bubbly water in my here. Let's see if you can hear the. I probably won't be able to hear that on the podcast, but in my back catalog listening party pint glass.
Nice. Well, I'm still working on caffeinating, so I have a coffee going on, but I might have made it a little more fun. I'm just saying. Little lunch day
extra.
Delight. Yeah, a little something extra. And I have we're about to get ready. Our family's getting ready to go on a big trip to Alaska. So we're trying to clear out the fridge. So I was like, what do I have? And we have tons of blueberries. I don't know how we ended up with so many blueberries. But I know, Catie, you're originally from the land of blueberries, right?
I'm from Maine.
So
yeah, we got those Maine blueberries.
So, well, these are not, I don't think, from Maine, but I'm going to enjoy some blueberries in your honor with some coconut cashew granola. So that'll be a little squirrel here munching away. Catie, are you having any beverage or snack today?
It looks like nothing in this glass. I am having some ruby red grapefruit seltzer.
Nice.
Very exciting. And I also have, it's lunch. So it's not, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm eating a Buddha bowl.
Nice.
An entire Buddha bowl, but I probably won't. I try not to eat too much of it while we're talking, because there's a lot of green stuff in that. It can be ugly. Dangerous.
Well, wonderful. It looks like Andrea's joining us as well. And
hi, Andrea. I know Andrea.
Wonderful. Well, if you are joining the party here for the live taping, let us know where you're tuned in from, if you're enjoying beverage or maybe something for your lunch. And we'd love to hear you. This is an interactive show. So if you have questions or comments for Catie or for anyone as we go along, feel free to throw it in the chat. Looks like Alan's joining us. Also, I think from Texas, says happy Friday, everybody. Cooling off with iced tea today. Yes.
Nice.
Good call. Well, we are so excited that we have Catie joining us for multiple reasons. One, we're just big fans. Two, you have not been doing as much music of late. So, I didn't know if you'd be available to do this. And then I get this lovely email saying, I have a new album coming out. And I thought, yay, first of all, we get new music, and B, will you come on and join us for our podcast? And you said yes. So we're so excited to have you. For folks who aren't, whose fandom doesn't go as deep as maybe my own, which goes back to my teenage years, listening to my Walkman. For those folks who maybe don't go as deep, maybe you could give a brief origin story about where you grew up, how you fell into making music and writing songs?
Sure. I grew up in Saco, Maine, and then I played the drums first, and then someone gave me a guitar and said, I'll give this to you if you promise you'll learn to play it. And so I was really into it in high school. I played bars and restaurants, like cover songs, of Ricky Lee Jones and Carly Simon and all that. And so when I went to college, I was at Brown, and there was lots of encouragement about like make up your own songs, play us something you wrote, which is amazing. So I used to play this place called the Underground at Brown, and got a lot of support for that. And I decided, well, I'll give it a year after college. I moved out to San Francisco. I just thought I'm just going to write songs, and then I got homesick. I came back east, and but I've been living in the Boston area pretty much ever since. I get signed to a major label, EMI Records, and put out my first record with them called Truth from Lies in 1996, which is 30 years ago. And so that's partly why I've just made a new record to celebrate 30 years of making music.
Thanks.
And yeah, most of that time I was on the road. Some records with EMI, some with Vanguard, some with Compass, touring, playing all over the U.S. and in Europe, and then about 9 years ago or so, I put out my last studio record while we're here, and I just took a complete like leap at a different chapter in life, and I got a degree in counseling, and I have my own psychotherapy practice, and this is my office. I love doing this work, and it means that I can play gigs just for um, like the plum gigs that I really want to play, that are like within an hour or two drive. And I also can hire a band because I'm not trying to make a living as a musician. And so I started working with a band that I just love, and they were, sort of the inspiration for making a new studio record. And so yeah, I have a new one that's just come out a couple weeks ago.
Excellent. Yes, come on, Butterfly, and we'll chat a little bit more about that. But you can, of course, check out all of Catie's discography and get the new record through her website, catiecurtis.com. The album we're going to revisit today is now 20 years old. What? It feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
Long Night Moon, and this is one of the albums you put out on Compass Records.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about why you have a pretty big discography? So why was this the album that
Yeah.
you wanted to revisit today?
Because first of all, there are 3 songs on this album that I still play all the time, and I think that might be a record. Like for my other albums, there's like 1 or 2. Um, Also, this was like a really juicy time of life. I wrote this record right at the transition when I became a parent. My kids, at the time the record was released, my kids were 2 and 3. Um, and so there's these songs on it that are about that. I mean, I wrote Passing Through with Mark Aureli, and that's related to having kids. There's other songs on the record about I guess overall, I think there's a tone on this record of that sort of achy yumminess between like oh, holy shit, what is that okay to
Yeah.
swear?
Go for it.
Holy shit, like everything is changing so fast, and yet what can I hold on to? I still have a lot of like desire. Some of the records about sort of where to put desire, I guess that's like Find You Now and Strange. And then there's some like political stuff, wanting the world to be better for my kids, and then there's um a song, Long Night Moon, the title track, is actually uh, written, was inspired by my older daughter, who was just a tiny, like you know, 1.5-year old, while we were in the process of adopting our second child. and she would see the picture of the little baby on the fridge and know that that's going to be her sister, and she'd say, "That's my sister."
Hmm.
And one time she just blurted out, "I get a place for you, sister." She was very precocious, spoke at a very early age. So I just couldn't believe how cute that was. And so that's the opening line of Long Night Moon. I got a place for you under the long night moon.
I
Yeah.
Nice.
love it. Well, speaking of passing through, it looks like that is the track that that you had first off here, and it
Yeah.
sounds maybe apropos here for setting up this record. Is there anything you would like to say about this before we take a listen, or maybe after?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is one of a few songs I've written with Mark Orelli, and I can remember he came to my house, and it was the day that my older daughter Lucy had learned how to get out of her crib. So it was
Oh,
no longer like you could sort of like put her there and run somewhere and come back, because she could get out now.
game changer.
And so Mark came to me, and he had the start of this song, and his first line was, "We are passing this world on to our kids, the ones with rings in their noses and eyelids." And I was like, "Oh, like I wonder, if we could rhyme it with cribs, because my daughter just," and then we were just, from the day that they climbed from their cribs. And then we just kind of toggle back and forth writing the lines to this. And he ended up taking it home and just finishing it, like the last verse, that whole part about, um, you know, uh, if I can't change the world, I'll change the world within my reach. Like that came to him on a late night drive after a gig. And he shared that with me, and I was like, yes, 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 that's awesome.
Nice.
I just want to say that this is one of the few songs that I've played almost every show. I mean, a lot. I would say 80% of my shows for the last 20 years, I've included this song, and I think Mark plays it a lot as well. So it's kind of neat that way.
I love that, and a great way to kick off our show here today. This is Catie Curtis with "Passing Through" on the Back Catalog Listening Party.
We are passing this world on to our kids, from the day when they climb from their cribs. We'll try to teach them well, show them that they're loved, but in the end all we can do is hope our best was good enough. 'Cause they'll witness how this life can be so beautiful and cruel. We can't shelter them forever, but if we show them all the tools, they might leave this world in a little better shape than me and you. We are only passing through, passing through, passing through. We are only passing through, passing through, passing through. We are only passing through. We are watching this world from our living rooms. Near 40 years since we walked on the moon. This big blue ball is shrinking, and I don't know if that's good, but for better or for worse, now this whole world's our neighborhood, and there's no place left to run to stay above the fray. We better learn to get along, not just to get our way, not only for each other, but our children's children too. We are only passing through, passing through, passing through. We are only passing through, passing through, passing through. much can one voice do with just a song? Sometimes injustice and indifference are all that I see, but I refuse to let my hope become the latest casualty. So I'll sing of love and truth and try to practice what I preach. If I can't change the world, I'll change the world within my reach. What better place to start than here and now with me and you? We are only passing through, passing through, passing through. We are only passing through, passing through, passing through. We are only passing through. We are only passing through.
Ah, beautiful.
Nice.
Catie Curtis with Passing Through from her 2006 album Long Night Moon, which we're revisiting with Catie joining us today from her home in Massachusetts. And I love this song because it feels, and I can see why you keep singing it, because it has this sort of, even though there are a few lyrics that kind of indicate when it was written, in general, it has this sort of timeless folk feel, right? Like it feels like in the tradition of, like, you know, Woody Guthrie and Pete Seeger. It has that kind of tone. When you wrote it, did you know that you're like, oh yeah, this is not going to be a big drum production track. This is just going to be some guitars and some voices?
Yeah, I think it's always clear. It's been clear that that's the way to go with this song. It's actually recorded. I recorded it again on a Compass bluegrass. I did like a bluegrass cover sort of record.
Oh, cool.
With the bluegrass, like Allison Brown and all the stable of artists around Compass Records, and we recorded Passing Through in that style too.
Ooh, I'll have to track that down and put it in the show notes.
Yeah,
I'm excited
the
to
album.
hear that.
The album's called Hello Stranger.
Yeah. It's a great record. And if you are interested in getting the album we're talking about today, Long Night Moon, as well as that bluegrass album, you can find them at compassrecords.com. And we'll probably say this more than once today, but I just want to say, I know Ryan was admiring the cover art. And I will say I have a CD copy. And it's you get the artwork with it. You get all the liner notes, and it's a great way of supporting the artist. And it's going to be the best, especially on an acoustic track like that. You're going to hear all the.
It's going to sound better. We've been saying this a lot lately.
On streaming.
Yeah, like if you haven't put a CD on in a while, try it, because
they sound good.
They really do. And while we're on the topic of recording and this particular song, you shared some photos here from the studio. So I'd love to kind of hear about where you recorded it, who you recorded with in the studio.
This is Lauren Entris. So Lauren is the producer, and Lauren produced Laurie McKenna's breakthrough record. He lives in Connecticut, and this studio, though, that you see him in is Chris Rival's studio. Chris Rival owns a studio in Massachusetts, and we tracked all the basic tracks with Mike Rivard on bass, John Sands on drums, and Mark Orelli on guitar. And one thing that's just really cool is that, you know, Mark and I wrote two of the songs together on this record, and he was at the beginning of seeing himself as both great. I mean, I think he's a great singer-songwriter, but also as a really good backup guitarist. And so he played all of the basic tracks, electric and acoustic backup guitar. And you know, as your listeners may know, he's gone on to be like a really significant member, and sort of always backing up Laurie McKenna when she's on the road, as well as having phenomenal records of his own. And I liked it, in these pictures, he just looks really young, and I feel, oh,
Baby Mark.
young Marcarelli. This was 20 years ago, and it was just a really special time. And then the two of us would go on the road together to support this record and his record. And well, I look a little baby face there too, don't I? Um, and he would back me up and sing. And the thing is, the guy has like uh, a phenomenal voice. So he would sing harmonies and play guitar with me on the road, and it was just really tremendous experience.
Mm.
Awesome. Well, we'll make sure to share these photos for folks. If you're just listening to the podcast version, we're looking at some great photos from the studio from the time of this recording. And we'll have those linked at backcatalog.listeningparty.com.
And we should mention that Mark Corelli, who's been a guest here on the Back Catalog Listening Party, he also has been name-checked many times on this show by many different artists because, again, his as a songwriter and producer and studio musician, he's definitely made some appearances on other episodes.
Yeah.
I also, if I'm remembering correctly, Lauren Entris, was he also a drummer as well?
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm just curious, obviously Lauren had already been, producing albums and such, but did that have any factor? I know you started off playing drums, in terms of choosing him.
Yeah, not really, because he actually, we had a different drummer, who played in the studio. But one thing I'm just really happy about is that, um, back on my first record, I played with Duke Levine, and then I went out and opened for Mary Chapin Carpenter, and she heard my record with Duke on it, and she hired Duke Levine to play guitar with her. And then when Duke ended up getting some other gigs, now he's playing with Bonnie Raitt, but he passed along the Mary Chapin Carpenter gig to Kevin Barry, who plays electric on this record as well. And then the cool thing is that then when Mary Chapin needed a drummer, Kevin was like, "Oh man, Lauren Entris, you should ask Lauren." So this all connects to then Lauren got the gig, and he's been touring with Mary Chapin as a drummer. And it's just such
I love that
small
you're
world.
supplying the musicians for Mary Chapin Carpenter's band.
I'm feeling awfully excited and proud that I might be part of the chain of people of like how people heard about those guys anyway, because they're so fabulous.
Yeah.
Well,
and to me, it's always a sign of a good producer that they're serving, especially songs like yours that are, again, the song is the central thing. And even though he's a drummer, even though he might have his own things, he did exactly what that song needed, which is just you don't need to do much. You just have a good recording of it,
Well, our friend Ryan came in to say, he feels that drummers make great producers by nature. And I really think, drummers are listening in a way that other instrumentalists aren't. And oftentimes the best drummers, you don't even notice they're there because they make everybody else sound good. So I'm with you, Ryan. I think drummers can tune into the big picture in a different way. And do make great producers.
Yeah, for sure.
And Lawrence, the type of guy, just his love for the music is so great that he has a home studio in his basement, and I can't tell you how many hours he spent on the record, because he'd go down there, put on his headphones, and he'd add a little thing here or there. Like, he can play a lot of different instruments, and I'd come in and he would have added a little or maybe a little drum or percussion or something, just those little things that kind of enhance a recording to give you like ear candy here and there.
Nice.
So yeah, I loved working with him.
Yeah.
Hey there, would you like to be part of the live show? Well, become a member of the Back Catalog Listening Party Patreon, and you'll get a backstage pass to weekly online tapings where you can ask the artist questions and participate in the live chat with a fun community of like-minded music nerds. You'll also get a first look at upcoming guests and receive invitations to special live streams and private after parties. So join the party today at patreon.com/backcataloglisteningparty.
I can't wait to dig into more songs from this record. The next track that you picked to feature on today's show is Water and Stone. Is there anything you want to say about this before we take a listen?
Yes. So this is one of my first experiences of trying to understand depression. I mean, I've struggled some with anxiety and depression as a sensitive human being. um, but I hadn't had really direct experience with somebody who felt like, seriously lived with the thought or the feeling like, I don't think I don't think I want to wake up,
Mm.
that kind of thing. And so when I wrote Water and Stone, it was sort of from the perspective of loving someone who may not want your help or your love, or may not be able to receive it. Um, and I'd been touring with Mary Chapin, and she offered to sing a harmony on this, which is so lovely. And then her guitar player, the late John Jennings, played this really neat. You'll hear like do 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 do, the bubbly part. That's him, and it kind of like this is one of my more frequently streamed songs on Spotify, and I think it's something between what John added with his part and Mary Chapin's vocal, and also Mark played a really lovely second acoustic guitar part on this.
All right, let's give it a spin. This is Catie Curtis with Water and Stone here on the Back Catalog Listening Party.
No relief, and I can't forget the water and the stone, and you walking into the waves. When I ran to follow you, and when I carried you back home, I thought you'd wanna be saved. All that you want, the sky above the blue, all that my love couldn't prove. All that you want, why I never knew. All that you wanted to lose. Sleeping in a field at night, a million tiny wings. Fireflies try to land. I thought I heard you whisper, but all the time it was the wind, spelling words in my hand. All that you want, the sky above the blue, all that my love couldn't prove. All that you want, why I never knew. All that you wanted to lose. No relief, and I can't forget the water and the stone. I held you up in my arms. The night is full like the river's pull, and you don't have to be alone. Now you can drown in her charms. All that you want, the sky above the blue, all that my love couldn't prove. All that you want, why I never knew. All that you wanted to lose.
All right, Catie Curtis, Water and Stone. I love it when a song feels like it's like picking up again and then it stops.
Mm.
Like I love that. Like you just want it to keep going, you know? It sounded so great. And you were right about all those. I mean, I couldn't keep track of how many guitar parts were on there. I mean, it sounded like there were what, 3 or 4. I couldn't quite tell. But
Yeah. And I'm seeing here on the notes that that Lauren played a zither on it.
Oh,
And I'm
I was
like,
wondering about
ah,
what I was
that's
hearing.
one of the things going on. Oh yeah, all these little things.
That's cool.
cool.
Who's on the bass on that?
And that's Mike Rivard.
Oh,
His bass part on this, I swear, it's like really the foundation of what started this vibe going. Like,
Mm.
and
yeah.
not if he could have just been like bum ba bum ba
Yeah.
bum 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 bum, but no, it had this,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that became the waves of this song, and it just was really perfect. So
Agreed.
Yeah.
It stuck
yeah.
out.
Really lovely. And folks loving the music. I just have damn with lots of emojis in there. And Connie joining in to say lovely harmonies. And
Yeah.
and again, that's Mark Aureli, right? Joining you on that.
Oh, that was Mary Chapin.
Mary
Carpenter singing those
Chapin. Yes,
harpings.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yes. Well, okay, she can sing, I guess,
good for Ken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a beautiful, beautiful tune. Well, if you're listening out there and loving the music as much as we are, again, you can buy this CD. You can buy the actual CD format with the lovely artwork, the whole thing. I highly recommend it. It's ever since this album came out about 20 years ago, it's been on perennial rotation in my house. So I highly recommend it. You can go to compassrecords.com, and Catie has a few other albums you can check out there. And then if you are interested in Catie Curtis's new album, Come On Butterfly, which just like came out, what, a week or 2 ago? So it's real fresh.
The 21st of June. Yeah.
Nice.
So if you want to check that out, you can do that at catiecurtis.com. And I know you talked a little bit about it. Is there anything else you want to say about this new record and what you're most excited about?
Yeah. This record is a collection of songs that took me about 10 years to write, because it's been that long since I've made a studio record. And I've been trying them out live. And I think that it's one of my strongest collections of songs. And then it was produced by Jamie Edwards, the keyboard player who helped do the arrangements for the musical Waitress. Like, he's just a tremendous musician. And like I said, the band that I'd been playing with. So when I listen, it feels like my favorite record now. It feels like it's sort of like the things I've learned through the years, coming together to make this record. So I hope people can hear it. I have zero marketing plan for it. I am not on a label, and I'm not really in a position where I want to be out there on the road, but I'm playing like, a handful of shows in the New England area.
So you want to, if you do live in the New England area, and we do have some regulars, some of our patrons who live in the Northeast, make sure to go to catiecurtis.com and check out the tour dates that she does have. And if you get a chance to see her, do it. I've seen her many times over the years, always worthwhile. And I would love to see you, Catie, with the new band. So you can do that at catiecurtis.com. And by the way, that cover, we just need to go back to that, because is that your pup on the cover?
It is. That's Soji. Yeah.
And
What happened is I was singing the song Come On Butterfly, and it's piano vocal. So I was singing live with Jamie playing the piano, and I was in a vocal booth, and Soji couldn't stand to have me in the booth. So he was making too much noise where the piano was. So they had to move him away from that and they had to let him in the booth with me. So that was me actually cutting the vocal track for Come On Butterfly.
Nice.
The look on his face tells the whole story,
I love that he's like, yep, my first album cover won't be my last.
He's like, I don't know why I'm closed in this little room, but I'm glad she's holding me instead of keeping me outside. Yeah.
I love that. Well, if you want to check out again this amazing cover for her new album with her dog on it, you need to do that. catiecurtis.com. We got a few endorsements, by the way, for the record. Andrea says it's awesome. 3 exclamation
Nice.
points. We also have someone who said, love the new record and all of the records before it. Discovered you at a listening station in Tower Records on
Aw.
South Street in Philadelphia.
Hmm.
It was Truth from Lies. Again, that first big record.
We go way back. Yeah. Yeah.
So again, check out the whole discography, all worth it. CatieCurtis.com is how you can do that. And also on the new record, there's a couple, there's some older tracks that you revisit as well as some new originals. Yeah.
Yes. Right. So there are 2 tracks from Truth from Lies, because partly I was like so excited that I'm going to put out a record celebrating 30 years since my first major label release. And so I put Troubled Mind and Radical on the record.
Nice.
And Troubled Mind is a really different take from the original. It has more of a, like, I shouted to the band right before we took it live. It was like, imagine like this is our last song of the night. We've had a nice long set of music in a bar, and we're just going to close with this one, and just really relaxed. And like, it just has a different feel. The original Truth from Lies, the original Troubled Mind had a more like folky, I'll be getting down about it. And this is more like boom, 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 like that.
I
Cool.
love that. And I love that you often describe the vibes of your songs with a drum beat.
Yeah,
which I think
was
is
thinking
perfect.
the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
Can't take the
Yeah.
drummer out of the songwriter, that's
No.
for sure.
Yeah. I still play. I love playing drums.
Oh, it's awesome. Well, again, really excited about this new record, and it's been fun to sort of look back on these songs. Again, on the new record, which celebrates 30 years. This album we're revisiting today celebrates its 20th anniversary this year.
Yeah.
Nice.
Long Night Moon, and we're going to get to a couple more tracks from it. And this is one of my favorites. People Look Around, another one you co-wrote with Mark, right?
Yes.
Is there anything you want to say about it before we listen?
Yeah. He came over. It was right after Hurricane Katrina. We were still in the midst of watching footage, and we said, like, let's just take 10 minutes, and each of us just write what we saw, write what we're feeling and what we saw. And I had a title. I mean, I had the chorus. The truth is bigger than these drops of rain falling. I had that just kicking around from an experience where the truth had been really missed in something important that happened in a group, but it wasn't originally for this. But as soon as we started putting these images together, I was like, I have this chorus kicking around. What if we use this to hold these images together? And then we were like, yeah, this works. So that's how we got there.
Excellent. Let's give it a spin. This is Catie Curtis. People Look Around here on the Back Catalog Listening Party.
The Mississippi River divides this land in two, like the way we tend to think of things, black and white, red and blue. If they can keep us fighting about marriage and God, there'll be no one left to notice if our leaders do their jobs. And the truth is bigger than these drops of rain falling. The truth is bigger than these drops of rain falling in the ocean, falling. When the water is rising We stared in disbelief at our TV screens. If they can keep us fighting another endless war, how many tears before the truth cannot be ignored? And the truth is bigger than these drops of rain falling. The truth is bigger than these drops of rain falling in Lake Pontchartrain, falling in the ocean, falling.
Right. People Look Around, Catie Curtis from her 2006 album Long Night Moon. And it's interesting how the circumstances can change that are happening in our country, but something about that song feels pretty relevant. They're
Yeah.
still using the same tactics, right? Having us fighting
Yeah,
about the same
it's
old
funny.
crap.
And I'll change the lyric a little bit. Instead of saying fighting about marriage and God, lately I've been saying fighting about gender and God.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then in when for a long time now, instead of saying another endless war, I've been saying if they can keep us fighting, if climate change is real, there'll
Mm.
be no one left to notice, no one left to deal with the truth.
Mm.
Um, and so, yeah, even with songs that have some like specific, like with passing through us, I think the original lyric is nearly 40 years since we walked on the moon. And now it's more than 40 years since, because it's like a lot more than 40 years at this point, because it's been 20 years since that record. So,
Right.
but you make a little adjustment to the lyric and it's like, yeah, relevant as ever.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. But I do love that the sort of the energy and drive to this song. It has kind of this
Hmm.
sort of like anthemic feel, like you want to sing
Hmm.
along to it in a bigger way. When you play this, I know when you toured this album, you said you had Mark with you.
Yeah.
And over the years you've done a lot of, solo shows and other things. So when you don't
Yeah.
have a band, are there any other sort of adjustments you make other than, to sort of keep that energy there?
Yeah, I mean, for years I've used a thumper thing,
Mm.
like I can play the kick drum with my right foot. It's just you've seen it probably on stage, people, it's like a piece of wood or something that you just kind of tap on and, so you have the truth, this will make your
Mhm.
then
Yeah.
dun, 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 and, adding that in gives it some low end. But yeah, it never gets as big as I want it to get, like it does on the record. And this song, by the way, I submitted it before the record came out. I submitted it to the International Songwriting Competition that year, and it won the grand prize,
All
which was the top,
right.
Right.
and it was like the first thing I've ever won like that. So that was fun.
That's cool.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, you can get the full band version, folks.
That's
All
right.
not just the little kick drum. You're going to get the whole
Mm-mm.
thing
That's
if
right.
you get the record at compassrecords.com.
Yeah.
Or of course you can stream it places, but man, get
Yeah.
treat yourself, either the high res files or get the CD, because it's going
Yeah.
to sound better.
Get
For
the whole
sure.
9 yards.
That's right.
That's right. And again, if you are joining us for the live taping, make sure to, if you have any questions or comments, throw them in the chat and we'll get to as many as we can before the show. Folks are just loving the music, so we'll make sure to get to some more. But before we do, we want to make sure to thank the folks that have kept this show possible. We haven't been no 20 year, 30 years yet, but we're pretty proud of over 6 years.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
of doing this. Yes. And this is all thanks to our Patreon supporters that keep the party going from week to week. And we want to thank these folks: Penny, Anna, Linda, Bevan, Connie, Vaughn, Alan, Chris, Becky, Peggy, Joe, Jim, Beverly, John, Tim, Sarah, David, Jocelyn, Matt, Steve, Mark, Severin, Mary, Nikki, Joni, David, CJ, Christy, Diane, Hetty, Sandy, Neighbor Ann, BZ, Paul, Cynthia, Ross, Mike, Eric, Phil, Ryan, and maybe you. If you want to join this mighty crew of music nerds that gets together every week with some of our favorite artists to listen to old records together and geek out about the production and the drums and all that good stuff, then you can join our Patreon. In addition to getting invites to all the live tapings, you'll also get first look at the podcasts. You'll see get a first look at upcoming guests, and while supplies last, a back catalog listening party pint glass.
That's right. Yeah, it's a special hour a week every week for both Ellen and I, and it's special because people show up. There's just something that changes when you're listening to music together, even if it's online. It's a really special thing, and for me, it's an hour of therapy every week. I always step out the other side, whether we're with a therapist like Catie or just a singer songwriter. The music, it really is medicine, and it's because of the people that gather around it, for me at least. And so thank you to our Patreon members, and thank you for everybody out there listening, whether you're listening on the podcast or listening on YouTube. You're here supporting independent art and artists like Catie, and that's what we need more than ever right now. So thank you.
Oh, we need it bad, folks. You can, and if you are listening on the podcast, make sure, and you're liking the conversation and the music, make sure to like it, review it, share it with a friend, and most importantly, subscribe so that you can be notified of what is coming up next week on the show. We drop new episodes every Friday.
We got a big number coming up, though. I might as well just put that out there. We're approaching episode 300 here.
That's right.
Congratulations. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And that's a milestone. We couldn't do it without you.
That represents a lot of work.
It's a lot of hours of good music and conversation is what that is. Yeah. So we're very excited about that. And right now, we're going to, what do we think we have time for?
Yeah, I think we have time for both the tracks here. So
okay. Let's make it happen then. The next track you picked to feature is Hey California. And is there anything you want to say about it?
Just let it roll.
All right. We're going to continue this listening party with Catie Curtis, Hey California, on the back catalog listening party.
Get you to take your heavy coat off. I'm gonna turn the heat up in the house. I'm gonna get you to lay down with me, baby. Make the sun shine underneath the clouds. The ground below us is frozen, and the snow, well, it keeps on coming down. I'll build a tunnel to your skin if you'll let me in. We'll make a fire right inside the house. Hey California, we're cold as hell, but we got ways to entertain ourselves. In December, we pretend that we're moving. Point out places on the map. We look at houses online. We read the LA Times. We go out into the snow and laugh. Hey California, we're cold as hell, but we got ways to entertain ourselves. Go to California, they want to know why you live back east, when the weather there is cold and the people there are cold. I say the people are why I'll never leave. Hey California, as hell, but we got ways to entertain ourselves. Hey California, when you watch us freeze, please don't talk about those lemon trees. Hey California, just one more thing, I'm about to get my mind blown by spring. Hey.
All right.
Nice.
Hey, California from Catie Curtis from her album Long Night Moon, which we're revisiting today with Catie joining us. And that song, I know it's written from the perspective of a New Englander, of which I'm actually a native New Englander. But here in Minnesota, pretty much everything you said.
Yeah, we were feeling it.
It holds true. I think everyone dreams of going somewhere warm, moving away and talks big. And then you're like, why would we leave? This is amazing. And certainly this time of year, it's a pretty nice time of year to be here. So, and I think people in Texas have the opposite, right? They're like, in every summer, they're like, why are we here?
Yeah, right. That's us in the winter.
Exactly.
Who's on the mandolin on that track?
And that was a high-strung guitar.
Oh, it was.
And that was Mark Morelli playing the high-strung guitar.
Nice.
High-strung is when you replace all the three lowest strings with the higher with the strings that usually go in the top three positions. So,
all right.
And that was Aaron McEwen singing the harmonies with me there.
Nice. Another past guest here on the back catalog.
Yeah. I bet. She's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Again, I also love that song because you mentioned that that's one of the songs that you still play a lot in live shows. And I almost wonder if it's almost holds a play, like it's almost like a song of introduction, much in the way that John Gorka's I'm From New Jersey is a song of introduction. Mm-hmm. I feel like by playing this song, it says a lot about you and where you came from, Right.
And it's also like since I play a lot in New England, there's often a place where I ask people to sing along, but then I'm like, just yell it. We're cold as hell. And they find, I hope I didn't like break the, sonic plate there, but to yell out. But it's like people love to yell out, we're cold as hell. And so I think as a live, I have so many songs that are like emotional. I like to bring songs. In every set, I have 2 or 3 songs that are just goofy or they're high, higher energy, lighthearted, like that, like this one.
Nice,
Well, as a therapist, you know how important catharsis is, and I have to say, I think songs like that, especially when you're feeling cold or down or whatever, you need to be able to let loose. The group yell. It has a very important therapeutic role, I think, to play.
Yeah.
The Back Catalog Listening Party is brought to you by EFS Publicity. Founded by veteran publicist, promoter, DJ, and musician Ellen Stanley, EFS brings an artist's perspective to the table, working to help clients get to the next level in their career. Services include national and international media campaigns, radio promotions, tour press, crowdfunding, grant writing, and more. Get a quote or set up a consultation today at efspublicity.com. We are going to fit in one more song before we say goodbye today. This hour's gone by crazy fast.
Yeah.
Too fast. But this last track is the title track, Long Night Moon. Is there anything you want to say about this before we listen?
Well, this is the one I was referring to earlier where the story about my daughter pointing out the picture and saying, I got a place for you. And the hard thing is, anybody who's adopted kids will know that like sometimes there's a waiting process and your kid's already in the world, but you can't bring them home. And it can be so painful. And so this song was written around the holidays. Long Night Moon is the December full moon at a time when my wife and I just really wanted to get our baby home. And sort of wrote this. And now, it's nice to play it now. I know that at this point, both my kids, came to us, they grew up and now they've gone. They're out there in the world, but they could, I've sometimes, joke with my with my daughter that I wrote this about, like, are you looking up? Like, I'm looking at the moon. So we still have that reference, even though she's 22.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, we're going to close out our hour with the title track, Long Night Moon from Catie Curtis here on the Back Catalog Listening Party.
I've got a place for you under the long night moon, and I'll dream that I'll see you soon. Good night, good night. Outside my back window, the oak tree stands alone, waiting for a blanket of snow. Good night, good night. Oh, through the winter, I'll grow colder here with just your memory. But I know that somewhere you are holding on for me. Throughout the atmosphere, God knows I want you here. I can't fake this holiday cheer. Good night, good night. Oh, through the winter, I will build my fire in this empty room. And I know you'll come back when the magnolias bloom. I've got a place for you under the long night moon, and I'll dream you're looking up too. Good night, good night, good night, long night moon.
Love that. Long Night
Nice.
Moon, Catie Curtis. And I love that the guitar, bass, the keys, it just feels like a warm blanket. Oh,
Yeah.
I never want to get out of that. Just
That was cozy.
stay cozy. Long Night Moon, again, great record, and folks loving the show, loving the music, loving the conversation. And if you are one of those people, you'll want to pick up this record at compassrecords.com. Catie has a few out releases with them, including the aforementioned Bluegrass album, which is very cool. So you might want to check that out too. And of course, you can check out the full discography, including the new record, which is out now, Come On Butterfly, by going to katiecurtis.com. It's also available on Bandcamp. So, but mainly just stay in touch with Catie Curtis. If you get a chance to see her live, do it, because there aren't that many shows these days. So she's putting her all into each of those shows. So
that's right.
Great chance. Well, it looks like you just got a standing O in the comments. And yes, we're all happy to have you here. And we're just so grateful that you took some time out to chat with us today.
It was such a pleasure to reconnect with you. You know, Ellen, we have his roots of going back, and I've gotten to hear you play as well, and I've always really enjoyed what you do musically, and also really appreciate your support of music through radio and podcast. And so I just really want to appreciate what you've done, not just for me, but the whole music community in the way that you have
Oh,
spread the word
oh.
about good music. So thank you.
Well, thank you, and it's such a treat to have you here with Tony and me and all our podcast audience. And yeah, we're just so happy you're making music and that you took the time to share some of your older music as well, because 30 years,
Yeah.
it's a lot of
Impressive.
a lot of songs.
Thank you.
And
And Tony, it's really nice to meet you now. And
thank you.
hopefully this is the beginning
Yeah.
of, we'll be looking back at this one day.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, this music isn't, I mean, it doesn't disappear. And that's one of the things that we value here
Mhm.
is how these songs
Yeah.
can stand the test of time and how they can take on new meanings, 20 years later, 30 years later.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's real special.
Yeah. Well,
Cool. Yeah.
thank you all for joining us today in whatever way you have. And make sure to get out there, support independent artists,
Mhm.
buy music, and enjoy it as you go about your summer travels. We're so excited to have your ears whenever you're with us. And we'll see you back next week for another edition of the Back Catalog Listening Party.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining us on the Back Catalog Listening Party. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review, which helps more people discover our show and our guests.
And do you want to be a part of the live show, get a first look at upcoming guests, and receive invites to private online parties and live streams? Then join our Patreon community at backcataloglisteningparty.com.
Have a great week. We'll see you back here next Friday for another edition of the Back Catalog Listening Party.